Good evening, and welcome to another video on All Hail the Ale. Tonight we are going for a beer from Nirvana Brewery. Which one is this? This one. It is the Classic IPA. And it's low alcohol at 0.5% ABV. And it says on the side of the bottle that the tasting notes are light amber in the body. Well, that doesn't make sense. It's a light amber body beer. Yeah, fair enough. Hoppy notes of pine and spice. I like the sound of that, with tropical aromas, and it's proudly low alcohol. At Nirvana, we're changing the game in no alcohol beer, bringing better choices to a wider audience. NirvanaBrewery.com and all the usual jazz. It's vegan friendly and contains the usual water, barley malt, hops and yeast. And there's really not a lot of calories. This whole bottle has only got 33 of them. So those who are sort of a bit conscious of the calorie count, definitely one that will fit that bill there. So yeah, you've got typical Nirvana bottle artwork there, you know, classic styling, 2-colour scheme with the hand logo. My hand didn't fare so well today, and it's not the greatest of things. I bashed it with a hammer, and blood, lots of it because I'm on anticoagulation. But anyway, let's get the beer out and into a glass, and hopefully it's another good IPA, because I do love a good IPA. I love them hoppy, bitter and resinous. And quickly before, it was looking a little bit excitable there. We're going to pour into my vocation glass today. The pour is lighting. Oh, it's not quite as light as at first thought. There we got a nice looking pour on the go. Too many bubbles on the side of the glass. C'est la vie. Let's knock a few of them out. There we go. So actually, it doesn't look a bad colour at all. You've got a nice kind of light golden coloured beer. It's clear as a bell, and you've got a white head that is not overly consistent and compact, but you know, it's not the worst I've seen. I've certainly seen worse. We've got no real sign of any inclusions. We've got an alright looking beer. It looks good. So let's have a whiff. It smells hoppy. It does smell hoppy. There is an element of citrus. It's more like a grapefruit type, which can bode well. There is that sweet malt though, and it's the sweet malt that I'm not a great fan of. And that seems to be common in a lot of the Nirvana pales. So, in fact, all of them. Yeah, so hoppy, there is, once you get past that sweet malt, there is a more sort of balanced malt profile. It works quite well on the nose. I'm actually quite a fan of the nose on this one, and the looks. So let's have a taste, even, not a whiff, we've just had that. Cheers. Okay. The body is all right. It's sort of just lighter than medium. It's got a nice, relatively smooth mouthfeel actually, given the level of carbonation in the beer. And we have got a nucleated glass, so we have got carbonation just sort of popping up from the bottom there. You might be able to catch it. But yeah, nice body to it. There is a nice citrus flavour. It's quite light, but it's quite well balanced. The hops and the malts work quite well together. Interestingly though, that edge of sweet, overly sweet crystal malt that you get on the nose doesn't translate to the flavour, and that to me is a good thing. I'm not the biggest fan of it. It's actually quite well balanced. There is an element of grapefruit pithiness, the tiniest hint of pine, and we're talking the tiniest, it's just enough to let you know it's there. And given the fact that the rest of the flavours are quite sort of reserved, this is not necessarily a bad thing, you know, because otherwise it'd be dominant and it would just kill it. But yeah, it works in the overall sort of palate. Yeah, it's not too bad. The finish is quite short, a little bit of citrus, a little bit of hop, then you get some malt, and then it's just gone. That's the only downside so far. Really, is that the finish is almost non-existent. But otherwise, not too bad. So I think that's the first time I've actually turned around and said that a beer from Nirvana, these ones, is not too bad. So hopefully that's going to be reflected in the scores. And the Untapped aid memoir for Nirvana Classic IPA shows a very, very low 94 check-ins with an average of 2.83, which actually isn't too bad given some of the Nirvana beers that I've had and not been a fan of. But my scoreboard of joy, I think, will look a little bit different. We're going to go for the usual 5 pillars of judgment: the looks, the aroma, the body, the taste, and the finish. So the looks on the beer, you know, obviously the head has dissipated and they've got nothing left in the bottle to do another pour. So let's see if we can do a bit of a swirl and just regenerate a little. Yeah, we've got a little bit. You know, it's not a bad looking beer, let's be honest. It's a nice golden colour. It's clear. It's got a head that is sort of Daz white, shall we say. And yeah, it looks the part. You know, I can't knock the appearance of Classic IPA at all. So I'm going to give it the full point. You know, the head, you can generate a better head with a better pour, let's be honest. So I'm going to be a little bit kind of forgiving there. The aromas are the only point where I thought up front I'm not going to like this because of that sweet sort of crystal type malt that you get on the nose. There are some hops, there is a little bit of resin on the nose, but it's very light, and that citrus edge that's almost like grapefruit that works. You know, so although I like a lot of the elements of the aroma, that sweet crystal malt just kind of dampens everything down quite some way. I'm going to give it half on that one. If it wasn't for that, it would be really good. The body is just about right. You know, it's not heavy, it's not light, it's not medium, it's just a little bit less than medium. It fits, it works. I'm not left wishing it was heavier. I'm not thinking, oh, that's too light. Can't fault the body. It's just about right, so it gets the point, the whole point, and nothing but the point. So the taste. Taste, as we know, is king, and this one, thankfully, tastes all right. It really does. There is that soft, subtle grapefruit, think pink grapefruit, that sort of thing. There is a nice malt, which is not the same malt that I'm detecting on the nose, that is overly sweet and kind of in your face and really had me going. But it's quite nice. I actually like it. It's balanced. There's a pleasant hop profile. Although it's not so very strong, you know, you've got a little bit of resin as well. Everything plays together nicely and no one shouts louder than the other. So balance is key. It's good. It's not excellent though. I wish it was stronger. I'm going to give it the 0.75. So yeah, it's faring quite well so far, really. The finish though, finish is a disappointment. On an IPA of any kind, I look for hops and longevity. I get zippity-doo-dah in the way of longevity. It's as quick as, well, lots of things that I shan't be saying here. So yeah, it's the sort of thing that will leave your wife disappointed. Anyway, it's arrived before it's been. So yeah, it's short. It is slightly hoppy. There's no real bitterness on there. There is a quite sweet malt. Otherwise, yeah, there's not a lot to write home about. So that's where it gets the smallest score of the day, the 0.25. So yeah, what does that give it? 1, 2, 3.5 out of 5 on the old Untapped scoreboard of joy from moi. So yeah, there we are. A little bit higher than the average of 2.83 is the Nirvana Brewery's Classic IPA. That one, right there. So yeah, if you've tried it before, do let me know in the comments section below. Otherwise, I'm going to go drink the rest of this beer, get the video uploaded for your viewing pleasure, and leave you to press the buttons down there in any combination as you wish. I've been Nick, that's been the beer, and I'll see you again soon for another one. Bye.